Hello, 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 beautiful people. How are you today? Here we are, another episode of Relax and Raunchy Relationship Podcast with me, Ingrid Galloway. And today we are so blessed to be accompanied by Hannah Borja Perez. Hannah is a wife, a mama of three, and most recently, a mompreneur. She was born in the Philippines and raised in Sydney, Australia. She served as an IT specialist, probably in her past life before becoming a mom, and then become a full-time mom to her two kids, and now with a newborn. And we have the same, baby name. So it's great. I can relate to her at least from that point. But Hannah's drive is helping other moms in health and wellness industry, which has given her a purpose in catering for women of all ages. Her mission is to help support as many moms to take control of their biology. Seeing so many rises in health conditions has sparked a passion for her and help those that are struggling. She wants to strive to create a partnership and promote the health and well-being of women through all phases of life to be the best version of themselves. And by living an optimal life, whether it be through health, beauty, personal, fitness, relationships, and business. Oh my God, Hannah, what is it that you cannot do? Welcome, Hannah.
Thank you so much, Ingrid, for that introduction. Now, to those who are listening, I'd love to introduce you now to Ingrid. Ingrid Galloway is a founder, relationship coach, and chief relaxation officer of Kahyangan, which means heaven. She has been a relationship coach for 12 years and a spa therapist for 22 years. And I can vouch for that because I have been going into her services and she is amazing when it comes to massages.
Thank
She
you.
practices she practices from the Kaayang on Sydney and from clients' homes, offices, and hotel rooms, online and from retreat locations. Her work has always focused on stress, relaxation, and relationships, and always ready to look after loving and not so loving couples and broken or lonely hearted singles. She does one on one coaching sessions, group workshops, and virtual retreats and in person retreats. So thank you, Ingrid.
Thank you so much for coming. Now, let's go straight into the first question, Hannah. What is your why? Why you do what you do?
Yes, so thank you so much, Ingrid, for that question. I'm sure I speak for most moms, but my why would definitely be my family.
Mhm.
And when I stepped away from the corporate world, I wanted to make sure that I was there for each milestones that my kids met. So
Yeah.
whether it's the first time they ate solid foods, the first time they rolled over, or even their first steps, the first birthday, first day of school. So it was important for me to witness all these milestones, hence why I became a full time mom.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you the number of side hustles I've been in. And it wasn't until I was introduced to the business that I'm in,
Yeah.
that I'm doing now, which is, in the health and wellness industry, where I found my passion on helping other moms and individuals really take control of their own health. So that's the reason why I do what I do. And now I want to ask you, Ingrid, you've been a relaxation expert or coach for X amount of years now. Why do you do what you do? And, what is your why?
Yes. So I came from Indonesia, hence the name of the business Kahyangan, which came from ancient Javanese language, and I
Mhm.
came from the island of Java. So I came here to get married to my first husband at the tender age of 21. Didn't know
Wow.
anyone apart from my husband and his family. And unfortunately, our 10-year marriage was very rocky. So we fought almost every day,
Mhm.
and hence it was an abusive relationship. So after 10 years I
Mhm.
left after 3 attempts, and then during my self-healing journey I went to see a couple of therapists, went to several self-development seminars, and then went back to college to study counseling and life coaching. And
Right.
straight away, I knew that I would be a coach, not a counselor, and my niche would be in relationship.
Wow.
And in regards to being a spa therapist, because I've been doing that for 22 years, I really love touching people. It's probably one of my, main love languages.
Yeah.
Touch, yes. So it's great to know who you are, who you really are, and then channel that and make that your profession. Because then, you absolutely love what you do because you're passionate about it, and it comes naturally. So if I can say that I have a superpower, I can't fly, I can't disappear. Those are not my superpower, but I can probably own that my superpower is I can make people relax in a short amount of time, and they can, open up to me in a pretty quick time, so they can go deeper and we can chat about more meaningful sort of stuff, not just the weather, for example. Yeah, that's
Well,
my
I'm a
part.
testimony for that.
All right. Yay, thank you. Winning. So, Hannah, can I ask you, because when I saw your Instagram various posts, you're so good with your hacks, correct? Mom hacks. So my question is, how can you have fun with the family? But as you know, as a mom, you become the house manager, managing the budget. So for a lot of families, we have limited budgets. I mean, some families are very, very blessed with unlimited budget, but most of us have limited budget. So how can we have fun? Any hacks that you can share with us?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. So for me, I would say number one is always come prepared. Now, what I mean by this, especially with young ones, I mean, we both have young ones.
Yeah.
It's that I always make sure I have, like, for example, we're going out for an outing, for example, and I always make sure I have equipment ready that can be used in family outing. So, for example, at the back of my car in the boot, I have a picnic rug, I've got a towel, I have spare kids' clothes. It's already prepared. I don't have to, I don't have to put it in. It's already there. I've got a bowl, I've got a board game, and I have wet wipes. So, sometimes we'll go out and then spontaneously we'll say, oh, let's go to the park, for example, and or to an oval. And we already have something prepared there that we could use. And this will definitely keep kids occupied for any spontaneous last minute outing where you decide to go. So that's hack number one. Hack number two is, this is also for younger ones. I don't know if you know this, Ingrid, but in the amount of years that obviously I've been a mom, my kids' favorite store is Kmart. They always go to the toy section. And especially my eldest, he would say, Mom, I want this, I want that, I want this. And in the first 2 years, the first 3 years, we would always buy what he wants. But we'd always be like, okay, if it's, under $15, yes, we'll get it. If it's over $50, we won't get it. But what I noticed is that all these toys started to collate through the years. There's just so many toys. So what I do now is go on a toy rotation. I don't know if you've heard of that, but what this means is that you rotate on toys that they can play with. So if let's say my son is into Marvel, we will only get all the Marvel stuff. He'll play with it for a good week. Because I'm not sure if you notice this, Ingrid, but they will only play for toys maybe 1, 2, 3 days. Then they will probably get sick of it. And then this hack really keeps the toys from piling up, as well as keep my kids entertained, So we'll put all the toys that they're not using in a box. They don't see it. And then the following week, we rotate the toys. So we'll put the toys that they were playing with, we'll put it away. So it's just easier that way. And the bonus is we don't end up spending a lot of toys. So it's a toy rotation. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Amazing. One of my past podcast guests, she is a declutter coach, and one of her tips are stop things from coming into the house. I guess with us moms in particular, toys, because we just keep buying, isn't it?
Yes, and not just that, but when they have birthday parties, they get so
Oh,
much
that's right.
toys. So it's like
Amazing.
we can't really, return the toys. I mean, it's the kids is, that's their leisure, that's their playtime.
That's right.
But that's what I do is I do a toy rotation, and it's so good. Like there's no clutter in the house. They only
Yep.
play with toys that they love. And
Yep.
then if they get sick of it, okay, next toy, I'll grab the toys they were playing with, and then I'll do it again. So it's good that way. We like I said, we don't end up spending so much anymore. So over the years, I have
Yeah.
learned that over the years.
That's amazing. I think we better adapt to that actually, because at the moment toys are everywhere. The room
Yeah,
is bloody messy,
I
and
know.
yeah, I think we better adopt your tip there. Very good.
And so my third one is, now if you're headed out to you're headed out with your family, for example, especially when dining in a restaurant. We love, me and Jez and the kids, we love taking the kids out to restaurants. So we find
Yeah.
out what day that kids eat for free. I don't know if you've heard
Oh,
of that, like or let's say kids eat for $10 for kids meal, you know what I mean? So
fun.
it's we find out what day it is, and then we go to that restaurant, and then we
Yeah.
save on meals for kids. So on
Right. Instead of
special,
paying full price kids meal
yeah,
when they're on special, then you go
yeah,
on that day. Uh-huh.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
good.
So that's my hack number three. And as you mentioned before, I also did a hack on Kmart with my newborn because of the pandemic that was happening.
Yeah.
I did like a I would say a professional like a mini photo shoot with my newborn. It was just the start of the lockdown, sorry, and
Yeah.
um, you know, mothers that can't really afford, so the because professional photo shoot, I have so much respect for photographers.
Yes.
I have a lot of photographer friends,
Yeah.
but then there's those that can't really afford that because
Yeah. They're quite
you're doing so
expensive.
much. Yes. So
Yes.
what I did, and I bought a few items. I bought a few items from Kmart, and I
Mhm.
bought a few items from eBay, and I ended up spending less than $50 on a mini studio. And then when my daughter, Harmony, who was only 2 days,
Yeah.
I did a photo shoot on her, and then it turned out really well. I posted it on Kmart Hacks, and I think it's called Kmart Decor and Hacks or something like that.
Oh, I can
And then it
testify on how good the shots were. Oh my God. Just like the professional. Amazing.
yeah, and so that kind of blew up, and then I got a journalist to come in. She contacted me through
Yeah.
Facebook, and I was like, oh wow. So it was really good. I mean, that time it was just like, yeah, I had a newborn, and then she was already in news.com, and then yeah, so it was very
Famous
good.
baby already.
So yeah, so that I did that, and that was very fun to do with my newborn.
Yes.
So yeah.
Things that you have to do, well, especially during lockdown. Of course, there are some restrictions in what you can do and you
Exactly.
cannot
And
do.
that's
Yeah.
you're exactly right, Ingrid,
Yeah.
because we couldn't, even if I wanted to do a professional photo shoot, because I never did this for my both my kids, my firstborn and secondborn. I never
Yeah.
did that for them. And I was like, I want to do a professional photo shoot, And
Yeah.
then I just had a like I thought, I was like, oh, wow, I think I'm gonna do it my way. And plus, because it was a lockdown, we couldn't even see anyone. We couldn't even
Yeah.
do a professional photo shoot anyway. So I was like, you know what, I might as well do it myself.
Yes.
And so that's what happened, and that's what I did. And yeah, it was fun, really fun to do.
Very clever and very creative. So people, even
Yes.
though if you still are experiencing lockdown by the time you watch this podcast, be creative, tap into your
Yeah.
creative child. You can have fun, lots of fun with limited resources.
Yeah. So now that I have shared my three tips on hacks Ingrid, now I want to ask you, as a relationship coach,
Yep.
what's your tips, or what would you say to people that might be, they're it's not so good right now in the relationship, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely. So, because I share different tips different week, today I prepared some for you. Tip to married men. So,
Wow.
if you have friends that are married, and the wives may be complaining or whinging to you, like, oh, my husband is like this, my husband is like that. No worries. Just ask them to watch this particular part of the video. 3 tips to married men to help understand what women really want and help with increasing the chances of having a deep and meaningful relationship. So that's for today. Number 1 is understanding. So I understand that generally speaking, men are wired to solve problems.
Yep.
Okay, so when there's a problem in their head, okay, I need to find a solution.
Yep.
But for this, in terms of understanding your partner, stop being Mr. Fix-It. Sometimes we women just want to be heard, just want to be understood. So you can say it like this: wow, I didn't realize that you felt that way. That must be difficult for you. So after listening to her, you can say this. You can copy and paste, no problem. I don't mind that you steal this particular line. Say it to your wives or your partner. Wow, I didn't realize that you felt that way. That must be difficult for you. So we women feel heard and understood. Tip number 2, security. We really love feeling secure, because sometimes it doesn't matter how pretty we are, how slim we are, how good looking we are. We can be a little bit insecure, women, right? So it's split into 2 sections. So the first one is financial security, right? We like men that say, let's work on this together. I'll support you.
Yeah.
So say, for example, if I am not the main breadwinner in the household, if my husband say this to me, I will feel like, oh my God, I love you even more. Okay? Because I know that I'm not the breadwinner, but he convinced me that he will support me no matter what.
Yep.
Right? So this, secondly, the emotional security, which is very, very important. Now, my ex-husband used to say, I want a divorce, right? Because 10 years of marriage, we fight like almost every day. So most times we argued. He said this because he didn't know how to communicate during distress. And perhaps it was a tool of manipulation and control to make me do what he wanted me to do.
Right. Okay.
Right. So typically, as women, we want our rock. We want men that said, babe, I got this. I got you. I'm here for you. I'm not leaving, no matter what. I'm here for you. We love that. We love that. So listen, man, we love that. Number 3, oh, I bet you will love this, man. Intimacy. Do women want sex? Do women want orgasm? Hell yeah. But don't go straight away, like, what do they say? Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am approach, right? Take your time, take your time. We like men that can build intimacy. So build the intimacy, because men and women are wired differently. I don't know whether you've heard before that to lure a woman, it takes like 24 hours or something like that. So we like things, a little bit slow. It's not that we don't like sex. We like sex, but we like the intimacy that comes before sex, That's why I love teaching couples how to massage each other for relaxation and intimacy in my coaching sessions. Because then, when the moment is right, go make fireworks. I'm not watching you. Go do that in your own time, but you can learn how to be intimate with your partner. Yeah, so those are my 3 tips.
Yeah. Wow, love it. I'm learning as well.
Yeah, no problem. Now, people, we come to the fun part of the podcast, which is true and false statements. So Hannah gave me two statements. Number one, Hannah had a scheduled operation for her wisdom teeth removal. And just before going to the operation room, she found out she was pregnant. Though the nurse, through the nurse who took her urine and could not go ahead with the operation. Number two, Hannah had a scheduled operation for her wisdom teeth removal. And as soon as she saw the needle, she fainted in front of her doctor, so she could not go ahead with the operation. I think because I'm gonna guess number one, simply because I saw your video giving birth and you are like absolutely amazing. You're mind-blowingly calm during your labor. I don't think you would be afraid of the needle. So I'm guessing number one is correct. What's the answer?
Yes, that's right.
Right?
Yes, that's right. Number one is correct. It is so funny. Yeah, I actually did a vlog on this because last year, end of last year, I was due for my wisdom tooth removal, all fours. I was gonna go under
Oh my God. All
the
four, you want to
operation,
remove
and
them all together?
yeah, because
Woof.
yeah, only because both my wisdom tooth, they're
Yeah.
all they're suppressing my other teeth.
Yes.
So it was hurting as well, and it was
Yes.
all due, like it was all booked. I was at the hospital, I was all ready, and then as soon as the I didn't even know that I was pregnant, and this is when I was pregnant with Harmony.
Yeah.
I had no idea, and the nurse said, "Oh, well, let's just take a urine test to see if you're pregnant, because you're going to go through general anesthetic. You know, you won't
Yeah.
be awake during the operation.
Mhm.
Sorry, the surgery." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And I'm like so calm. I'm like, "Okay." And maybe about 2 minutes later, she comes back and she said, "Look, I had to take this two pregnancy tests for you, like in the urine,
Yeah.
and both have come positive." I was like,
Oh.
"What?" And I was so shocked. I was like, and then it was funny. I was like, "Okay, can we just do a prank on my husband and let's pretend that I had finished with my surgery?" Because he's done his surgery before with his wisdom tooth. It takes a
Yeah.
whole day. Like, you're there the whole day, right?
Yes.
And then, I mean, sorry, the surgery, the operation takes like maybe less than an hour, but you're there for recovery the whole day. So
Recovery.
it was
Yes.
only, yeah, it was only about 3 hours that I was gone. And
Yeah.
so I said to the nurse, "Just call him and tell him to take his vlogging camera,
Yeah.
and record." So
Yes.
he's like, "Oh, okay." So she called him. "Oh, she's done with the surgery. She said to tell you to take your vlogging camera." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And so, just, I think he, in his mind, he's like, "Okay, I want to vlog how she's feeling,
Yeah.
because I'd be, all drugged up and all that." So he took his vlogging camera, and he had no idea I had a mask on as well.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, how are you feeling?" And then I was just laughing. After that, I was laughing, and I was like, "We didn't go through the surgery." And I showed him the pregnancy test, and he was like, "What?"
He got
So
the surprise of his life.
yes, very, very surprised. So
So
that's what happened.
what happened with your teeth then? You had to wait.
No, I still have it. I haven't got it removed. And it's because, I'm still breastfeeding. I don't even, and because it's lockdown as well, I don't even know if I could even get a surgery right now.
Right.
So I had to suffer with that for my entire pregnancy.
Oh my God, you're made out of steel, woman.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So you're correct, Ingrid. That is very true. That is what happened.
Yeah. Yay.
All right. So now it is your turn, and it's
Mhm.
my turn to read out your true or false statement. Okay, so this is a fun one. So Ingrid's true or false statement. Number one is Ingrid's daughter burned Ingrid's pots cooking dumplings during Mummy's Women's Circle event.
Mhm.
And number two is Ingrid's husband burned Ingrid's pots cooking dumplings during her Women's Circle event. Now that is so interesting. I'm gonna say your husband, because he was probably
Uh-huh.
the one that should be looking after the cooking.
You are correct. Yes. So I had my women's circle online, right? And then half an hour before we're supposed to finish, it's our snack time. So he was cooking dumpling and he supplied me with some dumplings during the snack time, during the circle, online circle. And it was delicious. And then towards the end of the chit chat, because during snack time, it's like free chat, you know, there's no structure to it. I started sniffing, what's that smell? And then as soon as I finish, I go straight to the kitchen and I saw my pot, my steaming pot. It's a big one. Was black.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
And then it was like, oh, he was like this. He was obviously distracted by his phone. I was like, oh no. I forgot about the dumplings. It was like,
no.
oh, black dumplings. Oh, sorry, Bibi. You didn't get any dumplings. And Harmony was like, oh. Oh, poor baby.
Goodness.
She didn't get her dumplings thanks to
Yes.
Daddy.
Well, the good thing is no one was hurt. It was just
Yeah,
the pot
no.
that got hurt and the dumplings.
Poor pot. I mean, some of my other pots also got some abuse because I forgot when I cook rice. I forgot that I cook rice and they turn black. To your me. So when you're cooking, don't leave it. Yes, that's the lesson.
Right.
So Hannah, last question. What do you do to either relax or add raunchiness into your relationship?
Yes. So I was actually thinking about this. And I'd have to go like what I do to add, a little bit of a spice to my relationship with my husband, Jez, is I go off with his love language. And you know this because you're a relationship coach.
Yeah.
So for me, my love language is acts of service, meaning, if Jez does something like clean the house or wash the dishes, I feel very loved. But for Jez, his love language is quality time or words of affirmation. So he loves it when when he does something and I cheer him on and I make sure that he's feeling really good about himself. And he loves it when I spend quality time with him. So he loves it, for him, he likes to take the kids to his parents' place so that, we could have quality time, whether it's just watch a movie or go shopping or, go to the park and have a picnic. I don't know, just something that is just me and him. And that's what that's how we are. We make sure that we apply our love language to each other. And I think it's so important. Nowadays, especially because of lockdown, we can't go anywhere. So it's really good to really just have that connection with your spouse or your partner, to spice up that relationship,
Yeah, so I bet during lockdown he must feel very loved because you guys spend a lot of time together.
100%.
There is a benefit to lockdown, right? Not just a drawback.
Yep.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing and coming to my podcast. So people, if you enjoy this podcast, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Ingrid Galloway. And Hannah, if people would like, more tips, more hacks, or communicate more with you, how can they find you?
Yep, I've got a Facebook page, Hannah Borja Perez. I also have an Instagram, which is Hannah Borja Perez. And I have a YouTube channel as well. I tackle on health, beauty, and mommy life. So that's also Hannah Borja Perez. So you can contact me any way through that platform. And I'd love that.
No problem. I will include one of the links on our post,
Yes.
so people can easily connect with you.
Mm-hmm.
And people, if you would like more tips on relationship or ask more questions, please go to my website, www.kahyangan.com.au. That's Kahyangan. Well, actually, you can see it here. Just go to that website. Yes. And request for 30 minutes free chat with me. So you can do that. And for sure, next week, we will have another beautiful guest coming to chat all sorts of, relationship and life sort of stuff. So stay tuned. And thank you so much, Hannah, again for coming. Yeah, I had fun. And keep well, darling. I'll see you and Jess for your massage session next time.
Yes. 100%.
100%. Right. Thank you so much. Bye.